no, you cannot sell your farmland because that is a land grab, and that's going to control where our food comes from, and we can't have that. If foreign countries owned 80% of the farmland in the United States, then they would control the food. And when you control the food, don't you control the people? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. It's a gorgeous day here on the farm, and I want to talk to you a little bit about foreign companies and foreigners buying up American farmland. All behind me here, what you see is this is a 150-acre first-generation cattle farm in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and that's a happy cow. We're an all grass-fed beef operation here in North Carolina, and I have been contacted, as well as many other landowners that I know of locally and out in the western states. Anybody that I know that owns farmland is being contacted by people, and I'm not so sure that these folks that are trying to buy this land aren't foreign entities. So today's video is going to kind of be talking about that. What in the world do we expect aside from a mooing cow? So what we're going to talk to you a little bit about today is these animals, this farm, and what's happening locally. I believe in the bottom of my heart that foreign companies are trying to buy up, and I don't know if it's China, if it's Asia, if it's Europe, I don't know who it is, but companies and countries outside the US are trying to buy land, US farmland. Why are they trying to do that? I don't know. I want you guys, I can't really speculate about it so much as to why they'd want to buy land, but you control the food, you control the people, in my humble opinion. And make no mistake, these are beef cattle. So I want your guys' opinion. Should this be banned? Should this be outlawed? Should we be able to sell our land to whomever we want to sell our land to, if that be a developer, or if that be another farmer, or if that be a Chinese farm conglomerate, or even a feedlot? I don't know. This is why we're going to talk about this today. So I do believe that these companies are contacting our landowners, and a lot of our landowners in this country are elderly. A lot of our landowners have inherited the land from grandpa or great-grandpa. This is all family land, and they're looking to get out of the farming industry. Farming is hard work. It's hard work keeping this land up. It's hard work managing these animals. It's hard work growing crops, running tractors, and it's very little return on the back end. So what we're finding here is that the American farmer is struggling, really struggling right now, because we're selling our product, which would be beef here in this case, or it could be corn, soybeans, whatever it is on a row crop farm, or milk even. We're selling it at a wholesale price, and the wholesale price is way down here, and there's a middleman that's making all the money, okay? So all of our small farms, the small farms of yesteryear, the small farms of yesterday, are being pushed out of business by larger, more efficient businesses. So in other words, it costs more to go get a hamburger at your local hamburger shop than it does to go buy a hamburger at McDonald's. It's the same principle. It costs more to buy a sweatshirt from a local mom and pop shop than it does to go buy it at Walmart. So what we're running into is what I would call the trifecta: the struggling farmer, the broke farmer, and or the landowner that really doesn't want to own any land in the first place. Maybe they inherited it. So what's happening recently in the last year or so is more and more mailers are coming in the mail offering to buy land. And these companies, these are large conglomerate companies, and whether they're overseas or not, I don't know, but I would suspect that some of this is probably what you're hearing about in the news, that Chinese buying up American farmland. I'm also getting phone calls. I'm getting phone calls from guys named Dave and Rick that sound like guys that are not named Dave or Rick. I don't know where they're from. I don't know what they're doing. When they call me and ask me if they can buy my farmland, and when I get these mailers in the mail, and guys, post comments if you're getting these mailers also. When they contact me via mail or via telephone, they are making super low ball offers on the land. And I'm sure they hit you with a low ball offer, then they kind of negotiate back and forth, and then the next thing you know, you might have a decent offer for your land. It's way easier to sell it all off and move out, either sell it to a developer or sell it to another country or sell it to another business. It's way easier to do that than it is to manage and run a small farm like this. So I'm on 150 acres here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I've put close to $1 million into my farmland, from buildings and tractors to grass and hay to fences to water systems. There's just so much that goes into this with very little return. So if you think about it, would you put $1 million, invest $1 million into something that only netted you, after 8 years, a $10,000 profit? It's a really tough proposition, guys. What I really want to bring home here is the message that if you or your friends or your neighbors or your grandma or your aunt or your uncle or anybody gets one of these offers in the mail or gets a phone call from people that are trying to buy up land, be super wary of it. Understand that you may be selling land to a foreign entity. This may be an attempt for the Chinese to buy more American farmland. I don't know for a fact that it is. I just tell them I'm on the do not call list. Don't call me again. I block them. I report junk. I report spam. I actually sometimes look up their number online to see if they're a legitimate company. I ask them what company they're from, and I've done some research on these companies, and they are foreign entities. So this begs the question, and I want you guys to chime in here. Should an American farmer, American landowner, be able to sell to whoever they want to? There are people out there that own land, tens of thousands of acres, that never even see it. There's Bill Gates that's buying up tons of farmland and tons of land here in our country. Land is a good investment. They ain't making any more of it, and the value continually goes up. You can virtually ignore it, and it will still increase in value, unlike your home. So what do you guys think? I want to know what you think. Should I, as an individual, or you as an individual, be able to choose who buys their land? If you want to sell it to somebody, anybody, should you be regulated by the government to say, no, I can't sell my land for 3 times what it's worth to a company in China? Should we be regulated to not be able to sell our land to a company in England or South Africa or China or Korea? Tell me, guys. I really want to know what your thought process is there, because it's important for all of us. Really, the take-home message of this video is, who's buying up all the land? Are they buying it for developing, or are they trying to control our food system here in this country? Make no mistake, when they're offering to buy this place, they're offering to buy a farm. They're not offering to buy raw land. Now, could this be a subdivision in 10 years? If I sold it off, very easily this could be a subdivision in 10 years. We're overpopulating. All of our farms are being concentrated in certain areas of the United States. All of our farms are going to factory farming because it's cheaper. We can produce cheap food and feed the people on smaller acreages. However, in order to feed the animals on those smaller acreages, we have to grow the grain to feed them. In other words, if you have your animals like chickens or cattle or pork, and they're in a concentrated animal feeding operation, meaning a hog barn or a feedlot for cattle or a chicken house, all that grain, all that food has to come from somewhere. It's either grains that are grown out on the grain belt of our country, and those grains are shipped in, they're transported in, the manure is shipped out, it's spread out on the pastures, it's spread out on the fields, or we're putting down chemicals and we're poisoning our land, we're poisoning our rivers, and we're poisoning our Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico, whichever. I think it's, you guys tell me. I think on the map it says Gulf of America right now. Not really trying to get into politics so much today, but I really just want to talk to you about this. If you have a friend or know anyone that's being contacted by these companies, please advise them to be wary, because these people are doing what is called a land grab. They're grabbing the land from people that don't want it because they don't want to do the legwork of listing it with a realtor or raising a farm just like this, because this don't make no money. It just doesn't make any money. The four-wheeler that you saw me ride up on here earlier cost more than the first year of profit that I made here on the Stoney Ridge farm. So what you think? I want you guys to tell me what you think. Is China trying to buy up our land? I think that's been proven. Are these companies that are contacting me, and I'm talking about 5-6 times a week. I get 4 or 5 mailers every week in the mail. Are you guys getting these mailers? These companies are trying to scoop up land. It's a huge land grab. Why are they doing it? Why is this all of a sudden starting? Is it because of our current administration? Is it because of our past administration? Is it our government? What is going on? Why are people scooping up land? I know they don't make any more of it, but it seems awfully odd that right now, in our times, I'm being contacted by so many companies to buy land. And it's not individuals trying to buy land and start a farm. These are companies. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Should we be able to sell our farmland? If a guy came and offered me $5 million for my farm, and he was from China or Korea or South Africa or England, should I be able to sell this land to that person uninhibited? Or should the government step in and regulate it and say, no, you cannot sell your farmland because that is a land grab, and that's going to control where our food comes from, and we can't have that. I don't know. If foreign countries owned 80% of the farmland in the United States, then they would control the food. And when you control the food, don't you control the people? I don't know. Guys, thanks a lot for watching today. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear your opinions. Please post them down there. Who's grabbing up the land? Why are they grabbing it up? And should we have the freedom to be able to sell our land to anybody we want to, whether they're a foreign country or a domestic country, whether it's a company from a foreign country or whether they're right here in the United States? What are they doing? What are they trying to do? Are they buying this to subdivide it and make a subdivision? Or are they buying it to control your food? That's the question. Thank you guys. Please hit the like button. There'll be links to other cool videos here at the end of this. I hope you'll check out some more stuff here on the Stoney Ridge Farm. We do a little bit of everything. Take care. Have a great day.